Welcome back, dear students. This is our fourth lesson of quadratics. In today's lesson, we will learn to solve quadratic inequalities. As we know, there are two different types of quadratic expression. First one in which coefficient of x square is positive and its graph opens upward, and the second one in which coefficient of x square is negative, its graph opens downward. In this case, before the first root and after the second root, polynomial is positive, and between the roots it is negative. In the second case, before first root and after second root, polynomial is negative, and between the first root it is positive. This we learned in our first lesson of quadratics. Now we will learn the procedure of solving quadratic inequalities with the help of this concept. I am taking two examples. In the first example, we have to solve x square minus 5x plus 6 is less than 0. X square minus 5x plus 6 is less than 0. This is the quadratic inequality. You see, in this case, the coefficient of x square is positive. So this will be graph of this type. First of all, we will factorize this quadratic inequality. We will put this equal to 0 and we will find the roots of this quadratic inequality. I am rapidly doing this. The two roots are 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are the points at which the graph crosses x-axis, and since it is of the first type, so it will be a rough sketch will be like this. So we have to find the region in which this quadratic polynomial is negative, which will obviously between these two roots. So solution of this inequality is minus 2 is less than x is less than plus 2 is less than x is less than 3. Had this inequality been x square minus 5x plus 6 is greater than 0, so we would write x is less than 2 or x is greater than 3. This is the simple process. We just have to imagine the graph. We don't even need to draw this graph. We just need to find the roots, and with the help of root, for the graph of first kind, the quadratic polynomial will be negative between these two roots and it will be positive beyond the roots. Let us observe the second case. In the second case, we will solve the inequality like this. 5x minus x square minus 6 is less than 0. Again, we will solve this quadratic inequality. We will form it an equation and we will ultimately find its roots. Its roots are 2 and 3. But now the graph is of second type because coefficient of x square is negative 1 over here. So for it to be negative, it will be negative beyond the roots. Then the solution will be x is less than 2 or x is greater than 3. This is the solution of this quadratic inequality. And the same way, if it was like this, greater than 0, so we would have solved it the same way, but in this case, our answer would be 2 is less than x is less than 3. So this is the basic procedure of solving quadratic inequality. We just need to refer the graph and we have to solve it accordingly. Let us solve few examples. Solve the inequality x plus 1 into x minus 2 is less than 0. If we carefully observe over here, x plus 1 into x minus 2 is less than 0 implies x square minus x minus 2 is less than 0 if we multiply it. I just want to tell you that coefficient of x square is positive, so this is the graph of first kind. And we also know that from here it is very obvious, and its two roots are -1 and 2. So it will be like this. X minus 1 will be root and 2 will be another root. Graph will be like this, and it will be negative between -1 and 2, and our answer will be -1 is less than x is less than 2. It's very easy. If we understand the graph, as I told you in the first lesson, this was basically was its first root -1, and this was its second root, and our answer would be -1 is less than x is less than 2. I hope it's very simple and straightforward. Let us solve another inequality. Same way, x plus 4 into x minus 3, if we put it equal to 0, we get two values. First value is -4, second value is 3. So one root is -4 and one root is 3. In this case, coefficient of x square is again positive, but this inequality is greater than 0. This will be the graph of this polynomial. This is -4 and this is 3, and it is positive. It means x is less than -4. -4 and lesser number, it is positive, and for 3 and greater number, it is positive. So, or x is greater than 3. So this is the solution of given quadratic inequality. We not only have to solve direct questions of inequalities, but sometimes we will have to use this concept in examples, in questions, as a part of a question, or in order to solve another lengthy question, we will have to solve this type of inequalities. So I will further give you few examples. This is quadratic polynomial. We have to solve the inequality x square minus x minus 12 is greater than 0. I will write it as equal to 0, and then I will break the middle term. -4x plus 3x minus 12 is equal to 0. When I will factorize this, I will get two factor. The first factor will be x minus 4 and second factor will be x plus 3. So we can easily get the roots. X is equal to 4 and x is equal to -3. Now first we find the root, and then we decide that what is the type of the graph. It is first type because coefficient of x square is positive. So this will be the graph with 4 and -3 its roots. This root is 4, this root is -3, and what was the inequality? Inequality was for greater than 0, and you can say that greater than 0 graph will be above x-axis. So our solution will be x is less than -3 or x is greater than 4. So this is our solution to this question. Another example, again, coefficient of x square is positive. X square minus 9x plus 14 is less than 0. When I will factorize this, I will get two factors, x minus 7 and x minus 2. X will be 2 and 7. 2 and 7 are roots. This is quadratic of polynomial of first type. Graph will open upward. This is the graph solution. Roots are 2 and 7. This is one root 2 and 7. This is second root 7. And see, the inequality was for less than 0. For that, this polynomial is less than 0 between between 2 and 7. So our solution will simply be 2 is less than x is less than 7. Next inequality. Okay, this is 12 plus 7x minus x square is greater than 0. I will again put this equal to 0. For that, I will get this equation. X square minus 7x minus 12. So what will be the factors? factors will be x square minus 7x minus 12. So, dear student, this was a very short lesson of about solving the quadratic inequalities. I hope it would have been very easy and straightforward. In the next lesson, we will move towards some miscellaneous questions, exam-like questions. In the next few lectures, we will solve several questions. So, dear student, this was a very short lesson about solving quadratic inequalities. I hope it would have been very sufficient. And in the next few lessons, we will solve some miscellaneous exercises regarding quadratics. Please do subscribe the channel to get the timely notification of upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Allah Hafiz.